Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
I'm ready, and it's going to be a great episode. We have a brand new series that just kicked off on HBO Max. It's Welcome to Derry, Andy Muschietti's prequel series to his phenomenal 2 film, It. And then we have the finale to the DC Comics' most recent history lesson, the new history of the DC Universe, which will be going through the pages of that. Paul's got an unboxing to do. We're going to be doing a few other things. It's going to be a fun show. I hope everybody is buckled up for the ride, because at the end of it, we're going to be drawing for this month's Legion Loot winners. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. I like your shirt.
First thing I boxed it early so I could wear it. So
yeah, I like it. Tell everyone what you're wearing. What are you wearing tonight?
So we're on the red carpet for at week's end.
Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Failure Force. This is the Failure Force. You can get a Cancer Sucks t-shirt. All proceeds, right? Yeah, all proceeds for this Cancer Sucks t-shirt in perpetuity will go towards comics curing cancer. So even if you don't buy it tonight, right now, whenever you buy it, and you will buy it, the money will go to comics curing cancer.
And can confirm. So comics curing cancer was phenomenal last weekend, 3-day event. A big shout out and thank you to everybody who stepped up and helped out with that, and from every aspect of it, from the people who stepped up when we called and they answered and they hosted shows for us, all the people that donated items, people that came through and bought items. I think this year's biggest single ticket item was bought that Friday morning by you on the I think that was the highest single ticket item.
Yeah.
I don't want to get you too big headed thinking that you're the biggest donor of the year. I don't know about that. But single ticket item, we did have some people that came through that slid through quietly and just dropped money. They didn't buy anything. They just dropped money, like 4 digits. But that was really cool of them. But people like Taylor Winder, who has the failureforce.com website where he makes really fun, really awesome shirts. And I can attest to this, and I'm curious what you think, but quality-wise, how does it feel?
It's very good quality.
It's one of the softest shirts I own, dude.
Absolutely.
Like, it's so nice.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I was just happy that I got to use the phrase in perpetuity in its correct context.
It's not often.
Not really. I've tried using it before, and it just doesn't mean anything in the sentences that I've used it in. So
yeah. But you had people like T-Dubs who stepped up and had that shirt that he put it out there. And I can attest, Monday morning when I was at work, I get up early, but before the morning was even over, I'm getting the C3 alerts on my phone still, and I see where T-Dubs dumped a good amount of money in there toward the cause from where he added up the sales of the shirts over the weekend. So big shout out and thank you to him and to everybody who even just came through and liked the streams and put a thumbs up on them to help push them out there and shared them out there. It was an amazing success. Big success. Over $65,000 with everything getting rectified over the previous days after the event was all said and done and stuff. And you can still go to comicscuringcancer.com. You can go pick up the exclusives. We have an after C3 sale going on the 3 exclusives we have. You can get all 3 of them for $30 total, which is a steal. You can go to Failure Force and still pick up those shirts. The C3 website has C3 shirts. It also has those exclusives, any one or set of them. So just still ways to support, still ways to donate, still ways to get stuff for your donation as well. Remember what you're buying. You're getting the item, but your money is going to the American Cancer Society. So it's a great cause, And man, what a tiring but fun weekend that was.
And Cliff is getting a tattoo, I believe.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah,
I believe him.
I think he should get it. It should say #for-the-people.
I think that would be really cool, to be honest with you. Because right now he's just getting the C3 logo, the big word balloon, all that stuff. And he was talking about just getting it in black and white because they're expensive. And I set up a group chat a long time ago when I was organizing the show host to put him in there and everything to organize the event. And I threw it out there like, if Cliff wants this tattoo in full color, not just black and white, like I'm down to throw in a couple bucks. There's enough of us in here. If we all just throw a couple bucks, he can offset the cost of it. He can have at least a nice tattoo, not just look like some kind of pin poke jailhouse tattoo on his arm. But who knows what he ends up with? But
exactly,
commend him for having the nerve to go through with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but again, thank you to everybody. Let's remind everybody, as always, big shout out to the homies over at Big Time Collectibles, who's also a massive supporter for Comic Curing Cancer. They're linked in the chat. They're always doing some amazing online retailer exclusives, convention exclusives. You can do FOC orders through them for books. They do all kinds of stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. So be sure to check them out. I subscribe to their monthly membership box, which is a blast. It's really fun. Also, if you need anything cleaned, pressed, or submitted to Grading Justin Comics, he got you covered. His link for his Instagram page is down below. If you don't have Instagram, feel free to reach out to me any way you can, and I can get you in contact with him. And if you need to get a pool list set up so you don't miss out on these monthly titles, because every now and then a book comes along and just pops, it just explodes. It just gets everybody's attention, and everybody wants it, and they hear about it, and they go to the shop, and it's not there. Because it was just so good that everyone went and bought it. Some people went back and bought extra.
Batman Annual.
Yeah, absolute Batman Annual. Fire. Absolute fire. And that book, like I've already made a video coming out tomorrow about it. That book is just like, this is one of those rare times where you can stick a flag in the ground and say, this is where and this is why there's a spike in comic book readers. New pool lists are going to be started because of that book, and that's fan-freaking-tastic. And I hope that they try a lot of stuff. But set up a pool list through ABX Comics and Games. They can be your long-distance comic shop if you're not local to the area. They do free shipping on orders over $100. I think that's about all I got. Paul, where do you want to go? Where do you want to start with this show? I'm gonna let you think about that for 1 second.
Okay.
Let's say hey to some folks.
Okay.
What's Crucius? What's going on? Good to see you in here. Ruby G. How's it going? DJ Links, he's in the building. So watch your back. Maddie from Welcome to Derry looks like a young actual Dracula. You're welcome. I can never unsee it. Can never unsee it now. What's going on, Donovan? Good to see you in here. Pop, what's up? Stephen with a C. Hello. What's going on? Marcus, some people like their cucumbers pickled. That's this guy. Big fan of pickles. A lot of people are probably going to be shying away from pickles after episode 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the that's a good reminder. Tonight we're giving away the Legion loot. That's for the channel members in the Legion tier. Their name goes on a prize wheel once a month with a big, massive prize. And you can join the channel membership through the join or subscribe plus button below. I don't know what it says now, but you get all these custom emojis. They look like this on the StreamYard end, but you see what they actually look like on the YouTube end. DVH, Dr. Von Hoot Comics from the Spiral Dimension. Good to see you in here, good sir. What's going on, Paul? Good evening to you, good sir. So we're going to get a effed up birthday? Huh?
I don't know.
So we're going to get an F and get a not birthday. I don't know. I don't get it. What's going on? The adventurous one. Good evening. Good evening to you. All right, Paul, what order you want to do all this in? Because we got the new history. We got the prize, the comics. Welcome to Derry.
Do you want to show off first what the prize is?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to get an effed up birth every episode. Yeah. The car in the bedroom. Yeah, so here's the Legion loot for this month. Someone's going to win this pack of comics here. All right, so we just had Halloween. Did you hear about that?
I heard people rumbling about it.
It happens once a year, typically toward the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
And
sometimes on the 31st.
Most days, I think. So most years, the comic shops will have a free comic event called Trick or Read. A lot of people know about Free Comic Book Day, but there's actually numerous events throughout the year where you can go to your shop, celebrate the medium, get some free stuff, take part in any sales that your shop's having. Batman Day is one of them. Local comic shop day is one of them. Trick or Read is always a fun one. In my mind, it's always like the second biggest one behind Free Comic Book Day because there's actually 8 books. 8 books. All 8 of them are in these 2 bags and boards. Venom Lethal Protector. I forgot what this one was, but it had a cover on front and back, and that back cover was just a gorgeous image. So when I put them in here, I tried to
did not have that one.
Oh yeah, well, this
I only had 4.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them in here. There's X-Men.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Godzilla. Some would say Fantastic Four Godzilla. I would say Godzilla. And there's all 8 are in these things. So of course there's some for younger readers. The kids, they're on the middle, so you can kind of see the stuff that people watching might be more interested in.
Like a Spidey and His Amazing Friends one was one of them.
Yeah, that's in there. So we also got the DC Comics Presents. This is issue number 92. I grabbed this solely because it had Superman and Vigilante both on the cover, and this is the final month of celebrating Peacemaker. It ended in October, so the October Legion loot is still Suicide Squad Peacemaker themed. So I gotta get. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for November, or if I'm gonna wrap November, December into them. Because I have this great idea if I do a November, December double whammy to like double up and do a big one. Because all right, pause for the cause. What do we celebrate in December?
Christmas.
Which is my favorite holiday. And Christmas is all about what?
All about giving.
Yes, for religious people. Like the point of Christmas. It's all about the greatest story ever told, the birth of Jesus. Well, if you translate that to comics, what's the greatest story ever
told? You're
going
to give away Kingdom Come stuff?
Have a Kingdom Come giveaway to celebrate the greatest comic story ever told. And do a massive...
That works on multiple levels. Kingdom Come.
Wouldn't that be epic to have a massive Kingdom Come? Like find some slabs. I got some stuff that I'm not willing to give away, but if I have 2 months to hunt some stuff, and to be honest with you, this thing that started with DVH and went to you and went to me, I think it's only right that it keeps moving because I've got so many copies of this book.
So you're saying that's like the fruitcake of the comic community?
I don't know. I've got a lot of books that you could call the fruitcakes of the comic community because a lot of them have been signed as they've been passed around. Right. But this sits here at all times. I'm like, one day I'll open it, but I probably won't, to be honest with you, because I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to open it because once you open it, you open it. Well, might as well maybe give it away then, And I had that here, and then now this is sitting here in arm's reach. I'm like, man, well, what if I get the slab to go with that? Mm-hmm. And then some other stuff, obviously, but between a slab of that, a complete set, which I have multiple already complete sets of Kingdom Come. We got multiple trades. You got like the Absolute Edition, that figure, a slab of that in like a 9.8 and a complete set. That's your theme right there. Then you can put other stuff with it. And that's an expensive prize pack.
I will donate the 2 comics that I got as part of the Kingdom Come documentary from Alex Ross.
And it's another thing. First off, I need those. No, you won't. Second off, that was also going to be included in it is the actual documentary. I still have a sealed one because I ended up with 3 of these, dude. So that would be in there too. I gave one away at Heroes Con, right? But I got my copy. But then I have another completely sealed one with the the lanyard, the cards, and everything. That's $100 and something right there. Yeah.
So did you get the comics as well?
No, because I like at the time I'm like I want this Emerald edition, so there went all the extra money I was going to spend at that time. Because if I'm going to get it, and you're telling me there's an Alan Scott edition, I'm going to get the Alan Scott edition. Oh, it's a lot more money. Fine, I'll pay it. But now I couldn't get those World Finest books. But I don't have.
You're saying if I send those to you, you would keep the 2 comics, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like there's no other choice for me. Like I'm bound by honor just to keep those because I don't have those. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I would. If you donated them, they would pay them forward. But yeah, all right. So,
however, I'm strongly recommending that you don't donate them and just send them.
But isn't that a good idea though?
It is a good idea.
Greatest comic story ever told giveaway, like that's for the Christmas
title
season?
Kingdom Come. I mean, what else could you?
Yes. All right, that's settled. That's happening. Mm-hmm. All right. So the 8 Trick or Read books. Superman Vigilante DC Comics presents the DCKO #1 Blind Bag Frank Cho foil. It's a $10 book. John Sable Freelance that Pops found, signed by Mike Grell, who's at Heroes Con every year. Mike Grell, famous for the Longbow Hunter. But if you know, his signature alone is not cheap. $20 a pop. The first appearance of Eagly in the anthology book, featuring one of the hardest Peacemaker stories ever written. Suicide Squad issue #4, featuring the first appearance of White Dragon. Then we have Suicide Squad issue #1, featuring the first appearance of Diebeard, aka Ginger Cool, aka John Economos. Also the first appearance of Belle Reeve. So that's good stuff. Then Secret Origins issue 14, featuring the first appearance of Rick Flag Sr., the origin of Amanda Waller, and also Task Force X, Suicide Squad's origin as well, because they had just appeared in the Legend series. So some good stuff there. And then this beautiful Suicide Squad #1 by Gerald Perel cover, featuring Christopher Smith Peacemaker on it. Just absolutely wicked cool Peacemaker cover. Mm-hmm. So all of that's going to a new home today. Technically tomorrow, or probably be Tuesday when it hits the mail. This coming week, going to a new home. Hey, Mark, long time no see, Paul. It's been a while. What's going on, Kev? Getting presented. Yep. How are you doing tonight? Rich, what's up? Entropy, what's up? Greetings, old school comics. Good to see you. But yeah, I thought that would be fun. That's what I've been cooking up in my brain. I spend more time thinking about theming the Legion loot stuff than I do about making videos. But yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, this is a little thank you gift for channel members that I do monthly for channel members in the Legion tier. There's a supporter tier that's like just like a lower tier, but the Legion tier gets you like the early access to videos and the name on the wheel and all that stuff. But yeah, and also I do giveaways all the time. It's just this once a month one that I do for those art. But yeah, every Tuesday I do weekly giveaways as well in the new DC Day stream. That's just open for any and everybody. All right, back to you, Paul. What's the order of the show tonight?
We got to start at the beginning. Welcome to Derry.
All right, let's do it.
Episode 1.
I should have got like a little picture to put in here between us like I often do. You got any? So this show kind of came out of left field for me. I remember months and months ago when they announced it, and I think I saw one trailer for it. So I knew it was coming, and I've seen it. Most everybody's seen Tim Curry's It. And then I watched the newer ones as they came out. Thought they were really good. Enjoyed them a lot. I don't live in a house that horror genre is celebrated. I got little kids and I have a wife she's scared of anything in movies. She gets scared super easy. So this one really just wasn't on the front of my radar. But as soon as I saw it drop, I'm like, oh man, I want to check this out. And I stayed up late one night and watched it. And it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. But set the stage. What's the premise of this? Because you've definitely set the stage. Give everyone the context of how you spent your past week when it comes to it.
Right. So I watched episode 1 on Wednesday, I believe it was, because it came out on Tuesday. Episode 1 came out on Tuesday, I believe. I watched it on Wednesday, and then they dropped episode 2. It normally is going to come out Sunday nights at 9:00, so you can watch it after at week's end every week. But they dropped episode 2 on Halloween as kind of a Halloween gift. So episode 2 I watched yesterday, actually. And then what I did is right after I finished episode 2, I went back and I watched It Chapter 1, and then It Chapter 2, and then I watched the entire It miniseries. That's all of these on HBO Max. So
The Tim Curry one.
Is that the Tim Curry one? So I have immersed myself deep in the It mythos and
You're
lore.
full of it.
I'm full of it, exactly.
So set the stage for the show.
So Derry is a city in Maine, and basically what has happened is, and they explain this in the movies somewhat as well, mostly in the movies, but there has been something that has been happening in it since 1908. Now, things are a little bit different between the miniseries and the movies, obviously, because they're different mediums, and one is probably more closely to the movies, and the special effects are much better in the movies than they were in the miniseries, obviously. So anyway,
so I'm about to say, for context of this, at this point, we'll pretty much only be referring to the Andy Muschietti movies, the new stuff. Right.
So there is something that has been happening. Children have been disappearing in multiple numbers. The first movie happens in 1989. And what they do is, as they're looking through, they're in the library, and when they're looking through things, they notice that as they go back through time, every 27 years as they go back, there have been these horrific things that have happened in the city of Derry, where children have gone missing, or people have died, or something like. So it happens in 1938. It happens in 1935, 1908. And now in 1962, which is where season 1 of episode Derry is set. But the first movie is in 89, so they go back 27 years from there. So it's 1962. Anyway, so every 27 years, something seems to be happening. And now in season 1 in 1962, things are happening again. We start off, we see this boy who is sitting in a movie theater, who is basically, it comes out that he has run away. He broke in for free, and sat in there. They chase him out of the movie theater. He ends up hitchhiking. He's picked up by a couple in Derry. He says, they basically say, where do you want to go? He says, anywhere but Derry. Before they can leave Derry, all hell breaks loose. This woman has a multi-headed baby in the car. There is blood everywhere. The baby has wings. It's basically a devil child, basically, and the kid gets thrown from the car, basically, and he disappears. Um, we flash then to a an Air Force base in Derry, where we see Major Hanlon, I think it is. I'm sure. I'm not sure of his rank, but anyway, um, something Hanlon. The guy's last name is Hanlon, and it actually kind of corresponds to the first movie, where the kid is actually his last name is Hanlon. Um,
Hmm.
so he's African American, one of the few African American people in Derry, um, including on the Air Force base. He is basically he's there to because he is some sort of a prize pilot or whatever. He
Yeah,
is,
it comes out to be more to it than that, but
yeah,
yeah.
he basically is. He goes up to have his first meeting with some of the other officers. Everybody salutes him except for one person, a white guy who doesn't salute him. General comes along, reprimands the person who didn't salute him, takes the guy back, and um, you want to go from there? Do you want to? Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
Okay. No, no, I'm good. So he goes back. The general basically tells him, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And the army, we're colorblind, things like that. So later on, the uh, Major Hanlon is attacked by three people in his bunk bed. He is saved by the person that he was traveling with to the base. Um, they talk about when he first gets to the base and he's driving through, there is a one hangar that is sealed off with fencing. And it says, it obviously has high security on it. They don't tell you what's actually going on in there at all. But obviously, that's the reason why he's being brought there, they say. But he hasn't seen anything yet. So, I'm trying to think where the first episode ended. Where did
Oh,
the first episode ended?
we got a lot
First
between
ep-
now and there.
yeah, the first episode
From
ended
there we start to meet
back
the
in the
kids,
movie theater.
though.
I forgot.
Yeah, from there we start to meet the kids.
Right,
After
exactly.
they introduce us to the little army base, we now get to meet like our group of kids, the losers, or who we think are the losers at least.
Right, the new
And
losers. Well,
yeah,
the original, the
would be the
losers.
1900s,
Well,
right?
that'd be,
1909.
yeah, but the losers are actually in 1989. That's the group.
Mhm.
That's those
Yeah,
group.
that's what I'm saying. Like this new set of
Right,
prequel losers here.
right,
This little
exactly.
group of friends that are recognizing that this other boy is missing, and you kind of get the dynamic between them and the reluctancy for them to even be friends with the kid, but this guilt about him missing. They start to try to look into it, and they all start getting haunted by it basically separately, and they come together over these terrible things that have been happening to each other, and they kind of get together and spend some time together and trying to get to the bottom of some stuff. And they find themselves at the movie theater where the series started, where it all took place. And while watching the movie, they start seeing missing people as well as their missing friend on the screen. And then while he's on the screen, he even sees them. And then he comes through the screen, materialized as a giant version of that mutant baby demon thing from the opening of the show. And it proceeds to just viciously and violently kill all of those kids that were in that room, save for
Yeah,
one girl who barely got out. And it ends on that. It was
yeah,
absolutely savage.
right. And then what I would say to Kevin is that is actually that's the story. It probably would have been more noticeable to people who have read it if they didn't do that, because that is the story. So HBO didn't do that; they followed Stephen King's writing.
Yeah, and actually, and to be completely 100 with y'all, Paul and I talked about this beforehand, preparing for this very comment.
Mhm.
Like black people existed back then, bro.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they existed. So it's not like there's this unusual amount of black people in the show for 1950s. You have two. You have the family, the guy who works at the theater, like in the projector room. Then you have the one guy on the military base.
Mhm.
You have two in this entire town, two, but they're just making sure that those two are in some way part of the story. Like
Mhm.
that's really on par.
Yeah.
What if the creeper from Jeepers Creepers is another manifestation of it? That's a cool character. I thank you, King, not HBO. Dick is the founder of the Black Spot Bar, which is mentioned in many novels prior to this series.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so in the movies, in the first movie, it talks about what happened in 1962, the kids disappearing. Then it goes back to, it talks about the black spot, going back to 1928, I believe it is, or 19, yeah, something like that. And then in 1908, there was the explosion at the at one of the mills or whatever, or one of the steel things or whatever. And so there have been these things that have occurred every 27 years. In the Tim Curry miniseries, it's every 30 years. So it goes 90, 60, 30, 1900. But it is basically something happens to not only the kids, but everybody in the town, because nobody can seem to remember that these things are happening either. Which is what
And
happens in the second movie of it, chapter 2. What happens is all of these people who have left have forgotten about what happened in Derry when they were younger, and only Tim Reed, who plays Hanlon, the grandson of Major Hanlon, from the Welcome to Derry episode 1. The only reason he remembers is because he never left, and because there was nothing better to replace it with, his memories. And he's called basically the lighthouse that brings everybody back
that's really cool.
in the miniseries.
Shout out the sledge. Yeah. And you kind of start seeing some of those elements of just how enchanted it has affected the entire town, not just the kids that are directly fighting for their lives and everything, but Pops, don't come at me with details. But like how the rest of the town is kind of like they can look at something awful happening and they're just able to just keep looking at it and keep moving. I think that's something that we're meant to be able to get a new insight with this show that we might not have delved so deep into previously is like the greater effect that he has, and not just like with the kids, and diving into some of the lore of the creature itself. I think we're going to be doing that as well based off the army angle, because I don't want to get too much into episode 2. We'll save that for next week, but I mean, obviously that's what they're going to be working on.
And Andy Muschietti has said that his goal is to do 3 seasons and to progressively go back 27 years each season till he goes back to 1908, the start of it. So if he gets to do another season, it will go back to whatever, 1938, whatever, 1938.
We ain't mathing tonight.
Yeah, exactly. We're not.
We should have wrote those numbers down.
Exactly.
Dude, we hung out on and recorded and stuff for like over an hour and a half. We were chit-chatting and recording and stuff last night, doing the same exact thing with the numbers. 30 every time. Neither one of us ever thought to just write it down. DV8 says, bizarrely, I never saw the Tim Curry mini or the second part of the modern. I probably should get around to that. Absolutely love the first 2 episodes, so I have the itch. Yeah, I would recommend at least watching Andy's.
Yeah.
Go back and watch part 1 and 2, but at least watch those.
The miniseries is 3. It was done as 2-hour.
Yeah, movies. The TV specials, man, they were fantastic.
Exactly. But they put them together and it's made like it's over 3 hours. It's one thing on HBO Max, but it basically takes both movies and puts them together, and it weaves back and forth between the olden time and the current and everything. So
that's really cool. So just diving into it. Oh, here we go. Just watch part 1 and 2 over the weekend and prep for the show. Can't wait to dive in. Yeah, dude, you should love it. And I got to tell you, I was raving about it as soon as I finished watching it. We say it all the time. This is a very DC heavy channel. Ultimately, it's a very Warner Brothers heavy channel. I'm a Six Flags kid. I love Warner Brothers. I love Looney Tunes. I love seeing the Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny walk up to the logo at the start of my movies. I like seeing my logo shift into bat symbols. That's just the kind of guy I am. So I'd naturally like HBO, I think. But they deliver the quality. It's ridiculous, the insane quality of this. As soon as you turn it on, like, and you get past this just horrific opening scene, and you get into like the way that they're shooting daylight and just the cinematography of this, the actual directing work of it, like it's a beautiful show, which makes the intense and scary and gory even more of those things. But this is truly like silver screen quality product that if you saw this exact thing sitting in a movie theater, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is definitely a movie. But it's crazy the quality you get from the TV shows on HBO.
Yep. Do you want to mention the connection that you made to another one of Stephen King's movies?
Yeah, and I found out I wasn't that brilliant.
Okay.
I noticed it after episode
Wait,
2.
is he Philip Seymour Hoffman's son?
He must be. I didn't notice it till episode 2
Yeah.
because that's when he was really more spotlighted. But one of the characters in this is Dick Halloran from The Shining, a younger version of Scatman Crothers' character from The Shining, who works on the military base. And in episode 2, you get into more of his character, and they never tell you it's him from The Shining, but it is same name, same a lot. Again, I don't want to dive into too much of episode 2. Pop said, I saw a scene in one of the trailers where there was a massive fog approaching the town. Wonder if they're going to do a mist connection. Another cool one. And that whole mist thing all originated at the military base in that movie. If we see Thomas Jane, just get all the kids away from him.
Mhm.
The Tim Curry one is better, I think. I prefer the newer one. Nothing against the Tim Curry
Yeah,
one.
Tim Curry sounds. I mean, it's definitely a completely different clown. Um, it's he kind of sounds like he's like from Brooklyn in the Tim Curry one.
The car birth was the worst. Was worse than the pit. That car scene was just, it was so unnerving because of how long they drug it for as well, because it wasn't fast. And like, dude, how that camera shot of the last time you see the car and you're finally out of the car and you're like, phew, because it was intense in that car.
Mm.
And you're in that car with that kid and that creepy family for what feels like an eternity. And when you finally come out of that car and it just passes by and just the window blows out and you go, oh man, that was his head. Like that was rough. Dark Tower is the best thing King has ever written.
That had so much potential too. They did that originally. The goal was to do the movie and then to do it and then to connect to a TV series. And the movie just didn't do anything. The Matthew McConaughey movie just never did anything.
Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I started watching that movie and I cut it off. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm out of here. Is it worth going back and watching the movie? Not the book.
Not really.
I didn't think so. So what I can do, because this is just how I operate, I can go on eBay or something and just order all the comic books because they've adapted all of them into comics. I ought to just go buy all the comics and just do them that way. Just
some really freaky Jay Lee covers.
Jay Lee crushed some of those covers. Yeah. Yeah. That skinny look. He almost looks like a vampire kind of dude. And he's got like the red cloak or cape on. Ooh, that makes sense. The sneaky crossovers in Stephen King's works makes everything so cool. Yeah, this is the first time I had one just pop out like that. Like I've never dove into like the Stephen King world to see what's connected and what's not. I've seen, I think probably I have to have seen like almost all of the movie adaptations of his stuff. I haven't seen like The Long Walk yet. That isn't really, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I know is his that I haven't seen outside of Dark Tower, which was just boring to me. Yeah, that's why he keeps giving him them crappy really looks. Yeah. The movie sucks. Read the novels. The comic missed a ton of the details. I'll read it slowly so I can see all the pictures. I'll pick up on the details. I ain't got time to read all the novels. I was talking about it on a stream about how I watched Invincible season 1, and I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed it, but it didn't blow me away. Like I thought it was really cool. And season 2 came out of Invincible, and I just fell off after 2 episodes and never went back. And people are like, you got to watch it. I'm like, be honest with you, I'm more likely to read the books than I am to watch it. And I said that on a stream, and then someone sent me this because I said that. So I've read a few issues already, and yeah, I'm excited to get past the point of the TV show. But yeah, I'm just more prone to sit and just binge read something than pull out a novel or watch a TV show. A bunch were made here in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's pretty cool. So all in all, what do you think your favorite Stephen King movie, book, adaptation, whatever is?
Oh, my favorite movie, hands down, Stand By Me.
Is it?
Yep.
Want to see a dead body?
Yeah.
Huh. I think mine's Dreamcatcher. It's such a random one. Thomas Jane again, I think, but I love Dreamcatcher. That was wild. The race swap for Roland changes the whole story. There are race dynamics that are in the novel to advance the story, and Swapper wins it. Is that Idris's character?
I believe so, yeah.
I went again. I read it. I read the entire Invincible series on.
And Matthew McConaughey was the gunslinger.
What is it?
At Matthew McConaughey was the gunslinger.
Was
Oh,
he?
it was a good one too.
I thought
So
Idris Elba
Short
was.
Tech Redemption, Green Mile. Oh, those and Stand By Me. I'm gonna guess 3 now.
All right, let me rephrase the question, Paul.
Yeah.
Favorite supernatural Stephen King?
Maybe Supernatural.
I guess Green Mile falls under that, but removing these Oscar nominated masterpieces of film.
Mhm. So, what's your favorite Stephen King novel that has never won an award?
There you go. That's a good question. Answer that question.
Okay. Um.
Like Tommy Knockers, Salem's
Yeah.
Lot,
You know what? For one of the
Firestarter,
for the sheer
Running Man.
fright that he gave me, now is a lot younger. I would say Carrie.
Oh, that's a good one. No, I like Running Man too. I'm excited
Running
for
Man
the
was
new
good.
Running Man.
Already got my tickets.
Do you?
And this week is
They're like 2 weeks away.
Predator Badlands, right? This Saturday.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it is.
I'm hearing so much bad stuff about that from the early viewers.
Really?
I'm like, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, Running Man is a week from not this coming weekend, but the weekend after.
The 14th, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That looks fun, man. That looks really fun. Pet Cemetery, that's a good one. I was always more of a fan of Pet Cemetery too. There was something about Clancy Brown in that, in the dirt bike, the old dirt bike scene with him. That was just, yeah. Green Mile, old school's got Green Mile. Yeah, there's Silver Bullet. What a great werewolf movie. And like, can you imagine like not being able to run away from a werewolf? You know, like you're.
I was surprised you didn't say Cujo.
Not funny, Paul. Sledge, not funny.
Oh, he's look at that.
Like, yeah, talk about too close to home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, guys, I haven't read Absolute Batman first printing. Can somebody send me 3 copies? Oh, you must have just found out the value of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, not first printing. Then, dude, if all the channel members in the Legion tier, you already have access to tomorrow's video talking about a lot of that Absolute Batman and its impact on the market and what its future might hold. I'm a sucker for the mini series of the Stand back in the 90s. It's super flawed, but I'm nostalgic as hell. Yeah, the Shawshank Redemption was like that too, right? Or the Green Mile was a bunch of the little mini stories.
Yeah. Yeah. The mini, it was like novellas or whatever they call them.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, ABX, it's called ABX, which is short for Augusta Book Exchange. It back even predated having comics in it. It was like a paperback bookstore where people would bring in their books and get store credit or trade them out for other ones and stuff like that, new and used books kind of thing. And when that was my first job ever, and I remember those little Green Mile books, following them up on the shelves and stuff. They have like a black spine with different neon color lettering down the spines of them and stuff. That was a long time ago. That's almost 20 years ago, over 20 years ago now. Good gosh. Stephen King's The Shining and The Mist. I went and saw The Mist the day it released in theaters, man. Was The Fog a Stephen King one as well with the pirates and the?
I don't think so.
Okay. So with The Mist, I remember seeing that one the day it came out, because when it was coming out, the marketing did great for like people my age. We're like, what's getting these people? What's happening? We got to find out. And man, it was an experience. And what an ending too. Good
what's the movie with the girl who is the biggest fan of this author, and she captures him and she breaks his ankles and
Misery.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was a good one
Kathy
too.
Bates and James Caan.
Yeah.
James Caan?
Yeah, James Caan, yeah. That was a good one too.
Yeah, golly, just
yeah.
God. Yeah. Her haircut was the scariest thing about that movie. Also says my favorite book was Bag of Bones. Story of the century. Give me what I want and I will go away. Always creepy how he keeps saying it till you finally find out what he wants. Not familiar with that one. Oh, Storm of the Century is the name of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's one that I might have missed. They've made that into a movie, haven't they?
I think so, yeah.
Do you believe the rumors about Supergirl trailer coming out next month? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Too soon, I would think.
Yeah, I think we're too soon even for a teaser. I did see where I think that they've officially announced, because we haven't had a date set for the Lanterns TV show. I think that they've officially announced. When I say officially, it could just be like random comments and reply from Gunn on the internet. That's pretty much how officially works these days. But I think Lanterns is set to come out after Supergirl.
That was the rumor, yeah.
Yeah. Now March gonna be looking some kind of way at dogs at the kennel. I always look some kind of way at dogs at the kennel. That's why I always come home in one piece. Now the Fog is John Carpenter. Yeah, John Carpenter. Yeah, and they've done 2 of those. They did a remake with Tom Welling, but the original one is what's her name? Adrian, the girl from Swamp Thing, Barber. Barber, isn't it?
Adrian Barbeau.
Barbeau, yeah. Here we go. Cycle of the Werewolf was only like 100 some pages. That's short.
Right.
The Mist, best ending by far. Yeah, dude. Like him just sitting there screaming in the car and just that impending doom that was getting closer was actually the help they were all waiting on. Like that's crazy. Thinner is freaky. Thinner. What is Thinner? What's the one where all the cat people? Where everyone's like, you know what I'm talking about? Cat's Eye with a little troll. I don't know if that's it. Wasn't there Skinwalkers?
Skinwalkers. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of Stephen King stuff out there, man.
He's
no
one of the most prolific writers. He's been.
You notice how nobody has said The Stand? Why hasn't anyone said The Stand? Talk about TV specials back in the day, dude. I love those. They were such huge events. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it felt like it was such a big deal when you had these big 2-part movie events like Amada Santi's Odyssey or The Stand. The Hunley that they did, I think also had Amada Santi in it when they did the Hunley. But those things are huge events.
Yeah, they don't do them anymore because they do them for their streaming things now, and you know, it costs too much pretty much for the channels to do the big things that they used to do before. So I mean, there were mini series they used to do movies of the week. They used to do all those things that they just don't do anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. Little did they know Carol would save her kids from the monsters first, then lose them to zombies and kick ass once they were gone. Yeah, she made it, dude. She made it. Yeah. Nice little callback there. Wicked for Good will make money at the domestic box office. International audience going to make Zootopia 2 a massive hit. All right. I think American audiences will help Zootopia as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of fans for that one.
Ooh, Salem's Lot. That was another good one. Pet Cemetery. That's another one. Sorry.
The season of Castle Rock was good. Never caught season 2. So they did that one into a TV show. Mm-hmm. Cat's Eye. Oh, she was Carpenter's wife. I didn't know that. There it is. Yeah. Sleepwalkers. Yeah. Yeah. Salem's Lot's one I haven't watched in a long time. I went back, and I say recently, but it's had to be. It's since I lived here in back in this house, since being the wife and the family here. But I was putting I still haven't fully set this room up since we moved in one day, but I'm not able to keep any of my DVDs in here. I've got hundreds and hundreds of movies, but they're all Blu-ray or 4K in here. So the DVDs are regulated out to the out in the comic room. They're just like boxed up. But when I was sorting everything, take stuff out there, I had my DVD copy of Tommyknockers, and I had not watched it in a long time. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to watch Tommyknockers. So it's been at least in the last 3 years, close to 3 years ago. But that was a TV movie with Marge Heldenberg, however her name, Jimmy Smits. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. That was a really good one. And Netflix ain't got the money, bro.
Yeah. Pet Cemetery is one that they made a couple of times too.
Yeah, here recently. Hey, babe. Mm. Oh, what'd you buy? You thought you'd sneak by.
You already know.
Okay, I thought you were trying to hide it. Yeah, that's why you just darted through here.
Cold.
Okay. She darted through here covering arms full of stuff, and I saw the Target Target. I'm like, oh, what's that? Awesome. Yeah, I like the big coat. Is that the new one?
Yeah.
I gotta show Paul this and see what he thinks, because she showed me this and I started laughing. No, just hand me the coat. What do you all right, Paul?
A Christmas Story.
How does the saying go?
Oh no, they killed Kenny.
I can't put down my arm.
I can't put down my arm. It's like a kid from A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story, yeah. She showed me this. I started dying laughing. Like, this is amazing. Get 2. And she did.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Kyle.
He said, hey.
Hey.
So we look how thick this is. I don't think you can see how thick that is. We live in Georgia. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But they're waterproof and whatever. And then if it snows, they actually have appropriate garments.
You know, it did snow last year, so they'll probably be 30 before it does it again. But just in case, they'll be ready.
Yeah.
They will be ready. Got to stay prepared. Do you think Netflix is going to buy WB? No. I did see today where they're officially going to throw out an offer. They don't have, like nobody has like Ellison money. Ellison, if Warner Brothers sells, I firmly believe there's only one entity out there right now that is capable of buying it. David Zaslav has proven himself to be a very good CEO, getting that company into a place where it's desirable, and he's also smart enough to have turned down numerous offers already. And the Ellisons want it. Like they clearly have a long-term plan here. This isn't, you know what I'm saying? Like acquiring WB is part of something that they're already doing when they got Paramount and all that. I fully think they will. Now, it doesn't mean that they will. That's just what I think will happen. Paul, what are your thoughts on the selling of Warner Brothers and the potential buyers in Netflix?
I don't think. I think a Netflix and Apple, actually, I think would be good possibilities, because I think they both desperately need a major studio. I mean, Apple has MGM, but that's not really a major studio anymore necessarily.
Amazon had it.
Sorry, that's Amazon. Sorry, you're right. I mean, so Apple doesn't even have a major studio. They have Apple Studios, whatever, but so they don't really have a major studio. So I could see Apple, Netflix. I agree. I don't think that they have enough. They have enough capital to be able to buy it, but who knows?
No. Donovan, we're a Target family, my guy.
Exactly.
Donovan said, "Keep shopping at Target. It keeps me employed." They feel good. She has her arms in these little kid jackets, just going, oh.
You should have seen the first time that the Lendrum family saw a Super Target.
The only time, bro. The only time. Dude, when me and Paul walked in there, I'm like, where are we? You know, when we went to that Super Target, like, why are there 5,000 checkout stations and only one employee?
Right.
That Super Target was mind blowing.
Yeah.
This just in, Mark's moving the family to Alaska. Not against the idea. Before the accident was good. After, not so much. He'll be in Alaska as long as ABX delivers. Yeah. Sony had another. Yo, so was it the what's that? Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Russo brothers directed it. Robots.
That didn't do very well. The bomb.
Yeah, that was made. I think that was the first Netflix studio film, right? They got their own little studio or something going on now. I just don't think they got that kind of capital to do it. But then the big problem with buying Warner Brothers and why they've been able to turn down offers, because people aren't coming with these massive offers because of the amount of debt Warner Brothers has, thanks to COVID. Because like you can look at their year by year trajectory. They were sailing, and COVID hits, and it's just been steadily like down ever since, until this year it kind of flattened in the curve a little, and they're going to see profit this year, it looks like. But I don't know. That debt might open up some options for other people. I just know that Disney's off the table. I think that they're maxed out right now.
Yeah, and they already own Disney and 20th Century Studios. So
yeah, that would be awesome. What if Sony bought them in the very next movie with Superman, Spider-Man crossover? That would be hilarious. If Spider-Man was a DC Comics movie franchise character and a Marvel Comics comic character.
Speaking of Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie has been locked out of IMAX.
Yes, because Christopher Nolan ain't playing no games. He locked down IMAX screens for over a month. I think just a little better than a month solid. Yep. Locked down the IMAX screens. Yo, makes sense, because I was still on vacation when we talked about it, when he did the pre-sales for the premiere night for the Odyssey, and it sold out instantly, over 10,000 tickets instantly, more than a year in advance. Sold out tickets. Already started pushing promos and stuff for it. Locked down all those screens that far ahead of time for that long. He's trying to bring. You got some people out there that are really, really making these occasions to drum up media like you're supposed to. You're supposed to work for the audience to come see your movie. Make us think it's something that we don't want to miss. And he's really doing that. Like, I'm definitely planning to be there opening night for that. If it's a Target brand, if the kids grow out of them, you can return them. No, I don't want to do that. The wife takes their clothes. We don't throw clothes away. That she takes them to this place called Kids to Kids, and she trades them in for store credit. It's like a second time around store. So she'll take them to Kids and trade like a bag of clothes in and get like a beater pair of shoes. I mean, I say beater, but they don't take ruined clothes in.
Right.
Well, she'll get a pair of shoes, like some random dress up shoes that you wouldn't normally think to buy, that they'll wear like one or two times a nice occasion or this or that. But yeah. As an AEW guy, I don't want Netflix anywhere near WB. This guy hates WWE.
Mhm.
I thought I saw somewhere that WB lost money this year, but I didn't think it was right. They ain't lost money this year. Well, I can't say that because I don't have their bookkeeping. The only way that I can put it is they've crushed it financially with the movies they have released. I don't know how much money that they're in the negative from what they've invested in for the rest of the year and the other stuff going on, but they've done really, really well for the first half of this year in an insane way. I think that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, though, was that a Warner Brothers movie?
I don't know, but I know that it absolutely tanked at the box office.
Yeah, and I don't think it tanked because it didn't get eyes on it. I think it tanked because the budget was insane on it. Like, that's another one of those things people are going to have to refigure how they budget movies. Like, what used to be a tent pole is not a tent pole now, and now we live in this era where we don't have a guaranteed tent pole right now. There's not a guaranteed genre now. Superhero movies aren't a guaranteed genre, and for over a decade, they were a guaranteed tent pole genre, and now there's nothing that's really taken its place. And we've talked about it before. For a long time, Westerns were the go-to for, you had the formula figured out. We spend this much, we make a Western, we're guaranteed to see around this much, and we'll make some money. Then that fizzled out. Then it was like sci-fi movies, and 80s was the slasher movies, and 90s was just a weird decade, and then they found the superhero genre, and they've coasted on that for over 15 years and got lazy. Now they don't know what to do. Now Christopher Nolan's coming in to save them.
Mm-hmm.
I take them to the gym and we give them out. Same with toys and comics. There you go. Now I like WWE, but AEW would be crushed real quick if Netflix got WB. Yeah. Minecraft was WWE's biggest movie. Yeah, Minecraft was huge. Yeah, they've had nothing but wins this year, at least the first half of the year. I think they might have had one that hit the wall here recently because they were like the most successful film studio of the year for the first 6 months. Sinners, wasn't Sinners WB?
I'm not sure. Might have been.
WB was crushing it this year. It was all over the news. We talked about it as we went through and everything. The vampire movie made mad money. Is that Sinners? That was a vampire movie.
Sinners, yeah.
Yeah, Superman did well for him as a brand. All kinds of other stuff. I can't remember what all it was this year. They're just knocking it out of the park. They're doing good. Even there's kind of smaller stuff. All right. You want to take a look at the new history of the DC universe?
Sure.
Yeah, there it is. Old School checked it out. 7 movies in a row opening over 40 million. That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
He said, sure. All right, so for the past few months, we've been taking a look at this series called The New History of the DC Universe because DC Comics has been around since 1938. They're rounding off on 90 years here. There's a lot of history, a lot of lore, a lot of characters.
1935, we only count from 1938.
We only count from 1938. That's all that matters. Anything before that belongs to the ghost who walks.
There you go.
But the 1938 was the creation of Superman, and that's where National really got its start. But because of that, they've done this from time to time because these stories and these events take place and there's reality altering events. People's backstories get changed as they change writers and hands and all kinds of stuff. And it can be really confusing for new readers. And to be honest with you, for old readers, when you have 3 or 4 different potential origins to a character, they've been down a handful of different timelines and they're standing in front of you in the pages of a book you're reading. You're wondering sometimes, what exactly this character is canon to. What memories does this Donna Troy have? Like what,
which Hawkman is this?
Which Hawkman is this? So they do these stories called The History of, to kind of just say, this is what the current editorial staff acknowledges as being the timeline from Action Comics issue number 1 to right here. Now that timeline has a bunch of branches and detours and side roads, but this is the one for the characters focus here. And we're going to lay it out for you. And it becomes a tool moving forward. If you have any questions or you're wondering, it's something that you can actually go back to. And it's really fun to kind of like, because there's so much more in this than you can really like unpack all at once, because in the back pages of it, and Paul can show you this, in the back pages of it, they even give you like this detailed broke down, like you can spend hours in here, just reference point, this massive reference point. Thank you, Joe. Here we go. Sinners, F1, Superman, WB was reported as making the highest profits this year compared to Disney, Marvel, and Sony. There you go. But yeah, so this is a massive tool. It's an amazing tool. And they're doing it in 4 issues. And we've gone through each issue so far, just kind of looking at it, letting you, the viewer, kind of get the basic idea, understanding, because it is told just as if Barry Allen, the Flash, is just writing it all down in a diary real quick, just taking quick notes, because if you know, you know, but the Flash has been tied to the history and the timeline and the altering events of DC Comics since all of it really started kicking off. So let's see if what this does. Yeah, that sounds a little better. Hey! I don't even know if there's another option. I think that's the best one. That's good. But yeah, so this is the 4th and final one. The first one covered the Golden Age. The second one covered the Silver, Bronze Age. The third one kind of got you up to modern age and then some. And then this one takes us really just through the past few years. There's the annual right there. Look at that. If you missed that, I feel bad for you. But this one really kicks off in like, I don't know, like 2008, really. This is like I'd say the past approximately 15 to 20 years, because Blackest Night came out like 2008, maybe.
Yeah, Blackest Night and Brightest Day is recalled on page 1, which was basically the Book of Oa, and the Blackest Night is basically the worst thing that would happen in listed in the Book of Oa that up to that point. Followed by the Brightest Day, where we basically had, at the end of Blackest Night, we had a huge number of heroes that had been taken off the board by DC that were suddenly resurrected,
including Maxwell Lord, who died at the hands of Wonder Woman, Firestorm, Hank, aka Dove, back in Zero Hour, Aquaman, the King. So yeah, it was cool to see them back. Firestorm and Martian Manhunter went out in Final Crisis, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, Hawkman. Of course. And then we get into this cool era because Batman was presumed dead, but he was really hopping through time. Dick Grayson picked up the mantle and rocked as Batman for a while, side by side with Robin. And so we go through that timeline, and then we get into the most contentious era in the DC Comics history, the New 52. And I love the way they highlighted it here as this sweeping bolt of lightning, like the Flash running with all of the different masks or helmets from the JSA members. And they talk about how an event occurred that seemingly wiped off some characters that were once around forever are no longer here. And this is the disappearing of the JSA, which became a big problem for me personally.
Is this the page you were talking about?
Yes. So we get the whole Flashpoint thing. He talks about how Barry ran back in time and he wanted to go change history to save his mom, and it had some terrible consequences. One of those being that the JSA never happened. But we also see some weird, what do they say? Rewriting nearly every corner of reality. Close allies were total strangers. Imposters attempted to replace us, and entire legacies were forgotten. The JSA was that forgotten legacy, but you see like weird Lobo there.
Okay, the very clean shaven Lobo.
I want to get like a comparable thing to kind of like Godzilla Final Wars, where they got all the Godzillas in there, even brought the American Godzilla in there just for the real one to womp on, which I love the American Godzilla, by the way, the 90s one. I love it, but that was so cool. I want to see the main man drag this Lobo. But right here it said the world I eventually returned to was cosmically unstable, old history intertwined with new, and no one was the wiser, including at the time myself. No one from this universe, that is. And you see it, Paul. You see it?
I do see it.
The blue hand.
The blue hand.
I've been telling y'all for 2 years straight he's going to pop up. He's popping up. This doesn't count. But y'all all know whose blue hand that is. If you don't go anywhere. But so someone from outside of the DC universe was actually witnessing, watching, and altering things. They talked about not all changes were costly, though. This is how Barbara Gordon came back fully to walking and doing her thing as Batgirl after the the unfortunate accident in the Killing Joke accident, but where Joker shot her.
Right. He gave us Justice League Dark.
The proper formation of it.
Yep. It gave
The
us
newest
the
version of
Suicide
Suicide Squad, this is after the Jim Lee run, which isn't admittedly not that good of a run. But Waller's back in action. And then we get the weird era of Batman. But one of the coolest Tim Drake suits, I gotta be honest with you. I love that Tim Drake suit.
Yeah, and so we talk about, some of the things from the New 52 that are still canon, like the Court of Owls is still canon, and so
yeah. Scott Snyder, who's doing Absolute Batman, this is his tenure on Batman proper through this.
Right. So we talk about the Court of Owls. We talk about the Outsiders, or the Red Hood and the Outsiders.
Yeah, that was awesome. By the way, I don't know if did you read that when it came out? Yeah, that was really solid. It was like just the bad guy version of all. It was really all like the, what do you call them? The wild cards from all the family. You had Arsenal, Bizarro, Red Hood himself. It was just really cool.
Starfire.
Yep.
Right, and then we got an introduction of Red Arrow.
Yeah. Who, if you watch the CW series, that'll make perfect sense.
Right.
And then we get into some of the best Justice League of America stories ever written, in my opinion, which I recommend anybody can go back and get these collected volumes, and you'll still love them till today. Jeff Johns was doing a lot of this stuff, but this was called Forever Evil. It was the introduction, the first time coming of the crime syndicate. Because they everything got reset. That blue hand changed things. The Flashpoint changed things. So this is the introduction of Earth 3, the crime syndicate. And when I saw this, Paul, I thought back on it. I don't think they told us about the crime syndicate yet, have they? Through the issues 1, 2, and 3 of this.
Right.
So in terms of the new history of the DC universe, what's canon now, the crime syndicate first appeared in modern time.
Right. And in Forever Evil, they actually, supposedly they kill Dick Grayson, which Dan DiDio has been wanting to do for a long time. So I think it's the next page, actually.
Yeah. We also get the introduction of Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz as Green Lantern through these events. Dick Grayson gets outed as Nightwing.
He becomes Spiral. He becomes part of Spiral, which is when Tom King was writing Dick Grayson. He was pulling from his
real life stuff.
Real life, exactly. We get a new Kid Flash.
Wallace
West. We get Batwing. We get
Signal.
This is Signal, right? Batman Incorporated as well. So we get all those type of things.
Khalid takes on the helm for the first time.
Yeah.
Grail,
the daughter of Darkseid, Grail, pops up for the first time.
Where she's tasked with taking out Darkseid himself.
Right. And then we come back to the dawn of DC.
We're not quite there. This is Rebirth.
This is Rebirth, sorry.
Yeah, this is Rebirth. So when Flashpoint took place, not only was the JSA gone, Wally West was gone. And when they were ready to kind of reform the pre-New 52 DC universe, they did it in a way that, okay, I know that we reset this and started back at square one, but we're going to play this at a different angle now. We're going to say that it wasn't actually restarted, it was altered, and we're going to bring it back. And in doing that, they gave them the opportunity to pick a character and let him be kind of like the lightning rod that brings it all back. And that wasn't none other than Wally West. Barry discovering that Wally was out there, sensing him, feeling him, realizing that I know him. And when they actually make contact with Wally Lost out there in the Chief Force, they kind of snap stuff back together a little bit. It was a huge contact point. It was a heartfelt issue, but it kind of starts righting some wrongs, and you kind of get your legacies restored. Like the proper history with Teen Titans is restored. They kept the New 52 stuff from Batman because Batman's kind of such an anomaly. And Green Lantern, yeah. Because Green Lantern was selling like hotcakes. This is the Jeff Johns run in era. So Batman and Green Lantern were such prominent comics like in the real world that they didn't want to mess up that momentum and that lineage. And to be fair, when they New 52 Batman, they didn't really New 52 him like the rest of them kind of thing. A little bit of an outlier. Right.
They kind of tweaked. One of the problems with DC and the New 52 was you had some things that theoretically could not happen. Like if Batman had only been Batman for less than 5 years, how did he have 5 Robins?
Yeah.
That's just a very high turnover.
Yeah, very high turnover rate.
Yeah.
So,
So they kind of tweaked that part of the Batman mythos, but everything that he, like they said, the Court of Owls and everything else that Scott Snyder wrote, Batman Year One, the death of the family or death in the family, whatever it was that he
mhm,
did, was still all retained.
yeah. And with Wally back, he gets back with his friends, the Titans, and forms like the no longer the Teen Titans, but the Titans. They're the older class. I mean, they're not children anymore, but they're the second wave of heroes. We also get introduced to Jackson Hyde, the daughter of Black Manta, who decides not to rock with his dad and to be a good guy who ultimately eventually will take the throne for a short time. And we get to see the superheroes popping up all over the world. Some of the more prominent, uh, comparable characters that are rocking in China. You can still see some of these people. We see that Flash from time to time, as well as the Superman of China. We see Keon from time to time. Godspeed, who was actually featured in the TV show.
Mhm.
Was that Williamson's run on the Flash?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Tomasi's Super Sons, which is a highly talked about series, and I, for the life of me, can't even get through it. Can't make a couple issues into it. Just I don't know what it is. It's not for me.
Yeah, it was very popular. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason was, and then Jorge Jimenez did it for a while, I think too.
Oh
So,
wow.
and then we get to the Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, now stuff starts to hit the fan. Scott Snyder starts cooking.
Hmm.
This at this point in the real history of the DC universe. At this point, things had gotten a little shaky at DC. They had started facing some backlash at the box office. The fans were pretty much just Marvel stands and Marvel zombies at this time. The movies were crushing it, and people didn't really care for the DC comics. They weren't even giving them the time of day. So I think it gave people like Scott Snyder room just to do some outlandish and wild stuff. And it's actually good, but he's really swinging for the fences. Deep lore kind of stuff with this. And he introduced the dark multiverse, this trippy flip side multiverse where it's ruled by this Batman who laughs. It's pretty much on every multiverse. A version of Bruce Wayne has gone crazy and dominated it, whether it be Bruce Wayne, who's the Batman who laughs, Dawnbreaker, who's Bruce Wayne is Green Lantern, an evil version of him. What is the Flash one? Red Death. They're all different versions of Bruce Wayne that manifests as like different superheroes, but evil versions of them. It's really wild. The
Yes.
Batman who laughs, the Bruce Wayne of its Earth 22, emerged as a lieutenant of the dark god Barbados. His army of dark knights laid waste to our planet while literally drawing it into the dark multiverse.
But that dark multiverse will become very, very important a little bit later.
Yeah, we're going back to it. They inadvertently shattered the source wall when they were stopping all those events. And as well in the events, Kendra Saunders reemerged as Hawkgirl, sharing memories and more with the still existing original Hawkman.
Right. We got the Terrifics, which was a fun series actually.
Yeah, it pretty much kind of featured in the new Superman movie as well. If you wonder why their jackets and suit match with the Lord Tech and everything, it's clearly heavily inspired from their designs in the comics. And we get what's his name, Slide or something.
Sideways.
I don't even know why they include him in this book.
Well, he was part of the Terrifics, wasn't he? He was in that. Oh, he was in a separate series at the exact same time. But same reason why a little bit later on they're going to include Harley. They're going to include Punchline.
Yeah, I guess so. So this looks like Justice League Odyssey to me. They don't say it on here, but is this supposed to be Justice League Odyssey? Following an incursion by the Omega Titans from beyond the source, while the Justice League reorganized into 3 specialized branches.
Right. Yep.
The main one's in the middle, Dark is in the bottom, but is this supposed to be Odyssey?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out exactly where the Dark Side War comes in.
We passed that, didn't we?
That was when Grail was there.
Yeah,
right? That was part of the Dark Side War.
That was right with the Dark Side War was right around Forever Evil,
right?
And they kind of exclude Pandora out of this whole thing, which we were talked about the last one. I wonder if Pandora is going to be all through this book. The complete opposite. Pandora doesn't even exist. But yeah, Justice League Odyssey was the one that had Lobo on there with him from time to time. So this threw me off not seeing Lobo there. But yeah, you had multiple Justice League books rocking, and then another remnant of the Source Wall breach hurtled toward Earth. The totality, the power core from which the multiverse was originally created. Lex and his Legion began unlocking the energy of creation before the totality was reclaimed by Hawkgirl and sealed inside the Hall of Justice.
This is the Scott Snyder Justice League.
with
series.
Jarro, which for
Mhm.
some reason Jarro is not included in here. You notice that?
Mhm.
That's a crime. Because I would argue, despite the 5 Robins, Jarro is the best sidekick Batman has ever had. That would I don't know what it
Right.
was about
Right.
that dude, man. Like, that's like a layup for James Gunn. You've
Right.
already introduced Starro. Bring
Right.
Jarro to the like Brave and the Bold,
Mhm.
starring Batman and CGI Little Starfish. We don't even need Damien. Just give me Jarro.
Exactly.
Now I really did enjoy Jarro through that. I don't know, man. That was just weird. They made you care about this little
Yeah.
starfish.
Yeah.
But we also get now the Tom King era on Batman.
Right.
See Gotham Girl there, City of Bane stuff, Hugo Strange, the
Yeah.
Catwoman, Batman, Bruce engagement thing. That's
Psych.
Psych, exactly. And that's him holding the ring there. And
Le-
then what
and
you were
left
talking
comic
about
creators
earlier.
across the country with specialty with vendor specialty covers.
Oh yeah, good grief. Yeah, they really got everybody good.
Mm.
But there's what you're talking about with Nightwing,
Yeah.
where he took one to the noggin.
From KG Beast. He forgot who he was. He was Rick. He became Rick Grayson.
Yeah, old Rick.
Mhm.
I wonder if they're like, guys, it's 2018. We can't call this dude Dick anymore.
Yeah.
All right, I got an idea. Shoot him in the head. We'll call him Rick, and that'll be it. And everyone was like, nope, nope, nope. This is stupid. All right. We got to, all right, undo it. Call him Dick again. Give him his memories back. We got cold feet.
Mhm.
But then we get into the button. We're going back to the blue hand. We got Barry and Batman found this little smiley face button in the Batcave with this blue electrical tachyon energy on it, and they deal with it. And it includes a fight with the Reverse Flash, Thomas Wayne popping up a beautiful love letter from father to son left, which will bring you to tears. If you haven't read it, the button, I believe, is only a 2-issue crossover story between Batman and Flash. My God, it is so good. You don't have to have any context to anything else in the world. You know, Watchmen exists, Batman exists, the Flash exists. Just go read it. There's a cool lenticular cover option out there somewhere. I recommend that one. If you run your fingernails across it lightly, it'll go zzz, 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 and it's really fun. But the story is even better. And right there, you see it?
I do see it.
See it?
I do see it.
I just picture him doing it, just
Mhm.
doing that and stopping, then adding the dot. Like, oh my gosh.
It's
Remember
the
when they
simple.
swerved us in the Tomorrowverse cartoons and they put that symbol on the ground? Like, oh my God, are they going to do something with Dr. Manhattan? Like, nope, we're just doing this weird War World story next that y'all all hate. God, those cartoons. But yeah, even more significantly, our detective work led us even closer to the enigmatic being who had been rebooting reality all these years, compelling him to at last make himself known. Bum, bum, bum. Doomsday Clock.
There he is.
Yeah, I don't care who says anything bad about Doomsday Clock. I absolutely loved it.
Mhm.
Every single page. Gary Frank's beautiful art, Jeff Johns writing, the absolute DC dream team right there. I know it was plagued with delays, so I don't blame anyone for falling off of it. And this time in DC Comics, the continuity was non-existent. They kind of had this free range continuity. Write whatever you want to write. We don't care. Just write a story, sell books. So this tied into a time that no longer really existed anymore. Like, you had to be a deep reader to be able to read Doomsday Clock and really place it in context where it belongs. And even in its context where it belongs, you had to take stuff here from over here and from back here, and you kind of had to line it up yourself because stories weren't really being told on a shared linear trajectory across the different titles. It was, I love playing the red yarn game, but I understand how that's bad for a brand like this. And that was unfortunate, but the story
Right.
itself slaps.
Yeah. And he doesn't mention it here, but also what happened is, as part of Doomsday Clock, that little vein on the side of Alan Moore's head started to pulse.
It does. It really does. Now, what this ultimately led everyone to realize is that Dr. Manhattan was the cause of the New 52, the cause of all the different little reality shifts. He was watching the DC multiverse from outside of it, altering things with a mere thought. And when he finally confronted this world, made himself known, he came to the conclusion that there is one immutable constant in this universe, and that is hope, and that Superman is, in fact, the center of this multiverse. His essence, his being, it draws everything to it. The good, the evil, that's just the nature of the way this universe works. Superman is that dude. And you see him right here featured with the return of the freaking JSA. And their return of that book, man, dude, what a moment when they came back. And it was followed in the end of it with like coming soon, a JSA ongoing series
with Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch.
That never happened. And
Yep.
after it was delayed forever, they gave us the Stargirl Summer Special one shot, which was fantastic with Degaton. And at the end of that, it said, all right, I know it took a while, but we're going to get this JSA book out. And that didn't happen. And then after a while, like, all right, we got Jeff, we got a JSA book, we're going to put it out. And it goes for like 4 issues and gets delayed, then gets delayed, then gets delayed. And then we find out why, that he's been moonlighting with his best friends, including the people who are supposed to be making these books with him, to create Ghost Machine. So they cap off that book. Brian doesn't even finish the last days of Lex Luthor at the time, and they launch Ghost Machine. So I'm not really mad at him. I'm kind of mad at him, but we talked with him live on the channel here. I keep that conversation.
That up.
Yeah, no. But we keep that live stream pinned at the top. If you watch on a mobile device, the live stream with me and Paul and Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch and Jason Fabak is always pinned at the top of my channel. It's the golden highlight for me of me and Paul's time here on the channel making content, talking comics. But yeah, and the best part of it is they reached out to us. We didn't even reach out to them. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, do you know who I am?
What? And they say, hey, we'd like to set up a stream on the release day for the Ghost Machine launch. Like, what? Like, wow. Right. Yeah, Hopium. There it is. Yeah. What we got next here, Paul?
We got basically Lobo's child. We've got is that Bunker? Is that his name? I think, right?
Somewhere.
So she's crushed. She's Roadhouse. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Exactly. Kid Flash. It's the new Titans, and then
with Damian on the team. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's the Teen Titans. Again with Young Justice. It's Young Justice.
Yeah. So I don't think this ever happened. Like this never. They're saying this happened, but this never happened, right?
This is the Brian Bendis Young Justice.
From what year?
From when he was doing from Wonder Comics. Remember, he did Wonder Comics.
Oh, from like that Young Animal era of stuff.
Yeah, he did Naomi. He did Wonder Comics. He did Zan and Jaina. He did the Wonder Twins.
So I remember the Wonder Twins. I remember Naomi, but I don't remember an actual Young Justice title. Then I must have completely just slept on it.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Because man, the last time they pulled out a Young Justice title was a couple of years ago, and
it was not good.
What in the world? Yeah, so this is the Young Animal era. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what the imprint was called?
No, Young Animal was the Vertigo one. That was more like Vertigo. It was
gotcha. I could have sworn this had its own
Doom
imprint.
Patrol had a young was part of Young Animal.
Yeah. All right, now we get into like the dark side of TK's time on Batman. He had a long run on Batman here.
Yeah.
War of Jokes and Riddles, Death of Alfred.
That was prematurely cut short, actually.
Yeah. And this is where we also get, you saw in the last issue, The Birth of Jonathan Kent, this when they talk about how he pops away with what they believe to be Jor-El for a while, and he comes back fully grown to an 18-year-old young man. We also get Wally's kids. Mm-hmm. Jay, I think it's Jay, just spelled differently. Irie and Jay are now part of superheroing, which are actually really fun. We get Project Leviathan with this. I'll let you hit this. I gotta close this back door, man.
Yep, Project Leviathan, which again was a Brian Bendis, I want to say Alex Maleev miniseries, I believe, where basically they took care of getting rid of the DEO, Argus, Checkmate, Shade. They basically got rid of all of those groups. Leviathan.
Oh, Sledge, you got to go read World's Finest, dude. They gave him all the love in the world you can imagine. That was recently too.
Yeah,
he had a whole it was a 5 or 6 issue story arc event. It was wild, dude. All right, then here we go. This is the part that Paul loves. First off, we get Joe Mullins from Far Sector, awesome character. We get the birth of Andy, Arthur and Mira's kid, awesome character. Arthur deserves a kid. Right. Like I'm still, He's going to keep this one alive, I hope. So far, so good. But then in the middle is Paul's favorite thing about this book.
For some reason, they mention Punchline.
This was their opportunity to get rid. Keep in mind, like redoing this rewrite is the opportunity to get rid of useful stuff or useless stuff too. But they wanted a canon Punchline, so Punchline's in there. We're not sure why.
Right.
Punchline isn't used anymore. And this dude, I don't know about you, but I loved death metal. We at this point we get the last big event really before the real like kind of the big event we're in now. But we get death metal, the follow-up, the sequel. It's really the next event that plays off of the first metal. It's called Death Metal, where the Batman Who Laughs is brought back by Perpetua, who's like one of these cosmic entities at DC Comics. Like her kids are like the World Forger and Kronos and stuff. Like she's big time, like old, like bigger than Old Gods type stuff. She goes back to the Source Wall type stuff. Ultimately, you had a 7-issue miniseries, came out once a month in total. I think we had 58 issues with all the tie-ins. They originally were kind of scaled back on stuff because of having recently fired Dan DiDio. They didn't know what they're going to do with the comics moving forward. But because the sales were good on it, they had a bunch of stuff ready to go if need be, and they just rolled it out as it went. Ended up with like 58 installments in this. And this was the first event in the history of my life where every tie-in, except for one with the Super Pets, that Super Pets one they did, every tie-in served as just the next actual issue. So you had 7 issues from the actual event book, but if you missed a tie-in, it was like you missed an entire issue, dude. I loved it because like every book, every page was like just page dropping through this. Wally had been touched by Dr. Manhattan, so he was rocking blue with the what symbol is that on his head?
It's hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
One electron, one.
Yeah. So Wally had sat in the Mobius chair. Wally had the hydrogen symbol on. He was in the blue suit. Like, dude, it was cool, man. It was really cool. Ultimately, Wonder Woman, like through all kinds of means, leveled all the way up to fight the Batman Who Laughs, who'd also leveled all the way up, killed Perpetua, all kinds of stuff. We had Apex Lex through all this and everything. It was awesome. But it ended with her winning, shaking up things, and getting back to the Perpetua's race of beings called the Hands to finish the job that Dr. Manhattan began. And they stabilized the universe further. Because, like after any big shakeup event, there might be some continuity things and this and that, but then it all got settled. And now we get into the James Tynion horrible era on Batman. I know a lot of people like this.
Obviously, is paying Mark Waid to put his characters in this book. Between Punchline and Clown Hunter and Ghostmaker.
Like, I don't understand any of this right here. Like, this whole era could have been ignored, but you have the Joker War on there. Just Joker sieged Gotham, and in the process of doing it, Bao Fam, which is how Panda. Do you remember when this character popped up? I don't know if you were watching Burke stuff back then, but Panda was on there. Like, God, he's just anytime you talk about Clown Hunter, you just yell Bao Fam. But yeah. Then you got Jace Fox stepped up as the next Batman. Ghostmaker popped in thanks to who wrote that series, that 12-issue series, The Night. Wasn't Lemire, was it?
I don't remember. You
know what I'm talking about, where it goes back to Bruce training and everything?
Yep.
I don't remember, but some weird stuff. Spoiler and Batgirl team up for a while. Grifter is Lucius Fox's bodyguard. Cole Cash, cool character. And I love how they touch on the Wildcats right here because they actually reference them traveling through the multiverse, periodically visiting Earth. So I like that because that Wildcats miniseries they had, every single issue, it would start with like you would see Cole somewhere talking to someone, and he would be giving them some kind of BS. And the Joker would be like, I got these scars, and just tell a fantastical story, and it was different every time. Cole would be telling a story about how he ended up in Gotham, and you would always enter the scene with him halfway through the story, and he's describing a major DC event from years past. And it was always just him telling a lie, but it was just a really cool Easter egg. I thought that was brilliant in that little series there. But then we get into who did this one? The guy who did Green Lantern season 2, not Alan Moore. What's his face? Oh my God. Superman and the Authority. The Animal Man guy. Grant Morrison, yeah. Grant Morrison wrote this, which is kind of like a build-up to War World stuff, but Superman takes these guys for a little romp through space, and while doing it, to go fight Mongol. John Kent holds up the mantle back at home through Tom Taylor's run on Superman, Son of Kal-El. It's kind of long-winded. Wasn't bad, just wasn't great either. Now we get into Future State, which I absolutely loved. I'm going to be full transparency here. I was a huge, huge criticizer about the idea of Future State. So why it happened is Dan DiDio got fired from DC Comics. Dan DiDio had this idea to do this 5G initiative is what it would be called. This is before they built the cell towers, but the cell towers were coming. The phrase was a poppin'. What he was going to do, he was going to sideline all the main heroes and forefront the next generation of heroes. John Kent's older, Damian's older. Well, let's get a new Wonder Girl. Let's get a new Swamp Thing. And we'll let them forefront and lead DC Comics for a little while and just shake it up, let readers get a chance to check out these new characters, blah, blah, blah. And DC's like, you're outside of your mind. Marvel just ran that experiment 6 years ago and destroyed their comics division doing it. Why the hell would we do that? You're fired. So Paul and myself have actually read that Free Comic Book Day book, the only 5G book that exists on this planet. We cheat coded life and found out where it was hidden. It's hidden in the special feature pages to Jeremy Adams' Flash Volume 1. It's the only place it exists because they pulled it and never sent it out to shops for Free Comic Book Day. And that would have been the first and only paper copy of that book that was ever printed. It's just a special feature in a book now. But we both have that. I just remember that right now in this moment. Yep. But instead of doing this 5G initiative, they had to do something because the timeline and everything, they weren't prepared just to print the next issues. They had all these stuff rolling. So they did 2 months. They called it Future State, a potential future of what could be for all these characters. And when I tell you, I was like, man, maybe I'll just take 2 months off from reading these things. Well, the books came out. I go to the shop. I'm like, well, I'll grab this one and I'll grab this one. I might something. I want to read something rather than nothing. And I read them like, damn. That was really good. So I went back to the shop and got all the other ones that came out that day. And then I ended up getting every single Future State book that came out because that's all that came out. There wasn't a regular anything else. It was only Future State. Every single one of them were only 2 or 3 issue miniseries because it was only for 2 months. All of them were amazing, except the Supergirl one was kind of boring. Beautiful, like kind of water paint art interiors, but it was just kind of her hanging out. There's really nothing to it. Even the Robin Eternal one was good. The Catwoman one was good. It was like Bullet Train, the movie, but with Catwoman. Like they were all fantastic. They were like the Swamp Thing one was so good that it spawned a 16-issue miniseries right behind it. Mm-hmm. Like I'm telling you, they were amazing. And it won't be the end of these characters, this possible future of stuff, because we got Levi Kamei from Swamp Thing, who's still rocking, Yara Flor, Wonder Woman, who's still rocking, and they don't have the other ones on here, but the Batman book that came out at the time, Dan Moore was doing the art. That was like his entry into DC. This is where Jeremy Adams got his entry into DC. This is where Philip Kennedy Johnson, Ron B, all of them started at Future State. So all of these writers and creators that all of us swear by right now, they're the Future State team. So it kind of makes sense why it slaps so hard. Mm-hmm. But I think it's this week, the DC KO Nightfall, is it?
Yeah, issue 1, yep.
Yeah, so if you remember The Dark Detective, you might want to go pick up that DC KO Nightfall. They've been previewing it in the books. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Batman's contingency plan in KO and Dark Detective is back. That was interesting. Out of curiosity, what was your feelings and takeaway from Future State?
Yeah, Future State, I really liked it. The only reason why I didn't get as invested as you did because I knew it was going to go away. Most of them, you know. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like, in some ways, I really liked the stories, but in some ways it kind of felt like Convergence. Like it was just 2 months of
perfect comparison,
you know, of putting this thing out there and then no one will care about it in 2 months.
Yeah, right. Rightfully so. You know, we do have Andy though. Like it's kind of like Kingdom Come. You know, right. Like when you read Kingdom Come and then years later you're still seeing how some of those things are coming to be. Some of those potential future predictions are actually happening with some characters here and there, and they've leaned into it. That's kind of how Future State is, it looks like. You know, we got Andy, we got the Dark Detective, we got Levi. So I guess like elements of it, they're like, well, that was decent. People responded well to it. We can use it. That can be the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yara Flor has been in the Wonder Woman title, so
she failed as a standalone, but she's now she's a character. I kind of blame that on the creative team. I don't know, the solo series just didn't do nothing. It wasn't that good. And now, right now, both Wonder Woman books are some of the top books at DC. All right, then we get a bunch of characters that no one really cares about, to be honest with you. I don't even know. Oh, that's Gossamer. That's the worst name in the world. That's Jay what is his name? Jake.
Yeah, Jay Yakamura or something like that.
Yeah. So like he was from the Superman Son of Kal-El thing. Terrible character.
He was his boyfriend, whose biggest thing was he wanted to kill Dreamer.
Yeah, he wanted to kill Dreamer. Now, Dreamer on the far right here was originally created for the Flash show. Dreamer's a pretty cool character. Great power set, a little unstable, which makes it enjoyable. You don't know when she's going to pop up in someone's head and accidentally blow them up, which is crazy because Waller.
Very important to absolute power.
Yeah, Waller abused this girl, man, and she accidentally killed people under Waller's direction. But the most gratifying thing is in that most recent Secret 6 miniseries, you get to watch Dreamer punch Gossamer's lights out, and that was like that was worth wasting the time on that miniseries right there. Nubia rose to the throne, and then we get into what's this, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yeah, this is where the DC Comics deep dive started.
Right here, this is the origin of that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Future State. I have 2 short boxes of the books. Yeah, dude, they're good. Then I get the not wanting to invest in something that ain't going to last. That makes perfect sense. So Pariah from the original Crisis came back. Came back to shake things up.
Mm-hmm. He would come back again in the Captain Atom. No, what was it? The Jenny Sparks miniseries.
Pariah came back in Superman.
Came back in Superman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, he came back because he's like he's a broken vessel of what he once was, and he's trying to recreate the multiverse to atone for causing the destruction of it, or what he feels caused the destruction of it. We saw the Justice League vanish in this one, and the Teen Titans have to step up in their absence. After that, we get the kickoff of the comic book World's Finest, where we're introduced to the Devil Nazah. And this is where World's Finest starts taking a really interesting approach to the continuity, where it takes place in an unspecified time in the past, but they get to build things in the past that can influence the current, which is really cool because the Devil Nazah and all this happened on Lazarus Island, where it blew the volcano and got the Lazarus stuff all over the planet. And they got the Necro Star coming, and Beast Boy had to fight it, and it ended up causing the whole world to kind of mutate and stuff. And you get Beast World, and that crazy event led Waller to shake up the trust of the planet and superheroes and take Failsafe and the Brainiac Queen and start her absolute power assault. What we got next, Paul?
So then next we got the Justice League is created a new Justice League is created after Absolute Power, where basically every hero in the DC pantheon is basically or can be a potential Justice League member. We see Airwave, who is was important to the end of Absolute Power as well, and also important to the what was the story that was yesterday's?
We were yesterday. We are tomorrow. We were yesterday.
Yeah.
Then
exactly right.
Yeah. We were then.
Right. And
then we get into the most important book of the last 2 years, in my opinion.
Correct, which is the DC All-In Special.
Darkseid has seen the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Darkseid is realizing this vast multiverse where numerous versions of all these heroes and villains exist. There's only ever been one Darkseid. Mm-hmm. Realizing that he's the physical manifestation of death, of Omega, of the end, realizing that his power has been cut to pieces and stepped on with every single new world that comes. He goes out on a tirade to get it all back. He goes and he kills Eclipso. He finds the Spectre and rips the spirit of vengeance from Jim Corrigan and forcefully tethers it to himself. He goes, I think he fires up a miracle machine at some point, and he does all kinds of stuff. It's crazy all the stuff he does to get himself up to a strong enough potential just to go attack the Justice League at their new formed watchtower for them to fight back and assume that they killed him, but really he kind of ascends into a bigger aspect, a bigger state of being, and he forms in his kind of like cosmic entity self. He forms a new world made of him, of his essence on a molecular level. And that world that he forms, this else world, is the absolute world. So you get the birth of the absolute to what ultimate end we do not yet know, though I suspect we will soon. And you'll find out if you go check out DC KO, because that's where we're at right now.
Mhm.
And across the world, across the DC universe, while that's happening, we got some other stuff going on.
Yeah, so he kind of Mark Waid kind of sets the table for where we are right now in the DC universe. So we see the brand new costume of Batman. We see the fact that Lois has become Superwoman. We see from Superman Unlimited that he is now he can make himself impervious to kryptonite for like 5 minutes or something like that. Not even 5 minutes. It's
And that's the
something.
one thing. That's it, Paul.
Yeah.
That I
Uh,
told you at the beginning. There's one thing about this book that I hate that they included. It's that
yeah.
Superman Unlimited is somehow they're pretending like that's somehow important to the overarching DC universe.
Right. We see what's going on in the Green Lantern books with Jeremy Adams. We see the fact that Aquaman now also is able to create these with hydrokinesis things. We see Wonder Woman and what's going on with her and Steve
The birth
Trevor
of Trinity.
and the birth of Trinity. And then we see Booster Gold, who was captured as part of the Absolute Universe. But we know from the end of DCKO #1 is actually he is infused right now with the essence of Darkseid. Darkseid is inhabiting him, so we know that to be going on as well. And then we see again, kind of DCKO is what's the King Omega is. We see Darkseid, who we believe will be fighting whoever the champion is at the end of DCKO. That will be the big battle that happens. And then to me, this almost kind of looks like the multiverse, but
Multiversity.
yeah, exactly, multiversity.
Yeah,
But
just an unlimited potential futurescape for DC Universe.
right. So we see, we see the Batman Beyond. We see
Odyssey.
Odyssey. We DC 1,000,000 down in the right hand corner, along with the Time Trapper. We
Gold
see
Beetle is on there.
Commandy is in the bottom, at the
Mhm.
bottom. So who is that person? Who is that person? The big one standing there in the on the right hand side there
Old girl with the flat
with a
top.
white
I don't
hair.
have a clue.
Right. We
I
see
don't have a clue.
Abracadabra, who's from the 53rd century or something like that as well.
There's a lot of stuff on this page that I just don't have a clue what it is.
Yeah, but maybe we'll find out eventually.
Yeah. And for the life of me, I do not think that's Time Trapper looking at him at the top of the page.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom right, I don't think that's Time Trapper. And it goes back to, again, to the beginning of War World. I asked you about that, and I don't remember who that was that came to Mongol because I don't remember it ever revealing that person at the beginning of War World. You remember that came to Mongol and really like boosted him up, had the wrapped up hands, had the cloak. I don't remember us ever. I think we did find out it was like a scarred Lex Luthor or something, and that like led into the death of the Justice League. Maybe we did find out. I don't know. Maybe it is Time Trapper. I might just be thinking too much into it. But why wouldn't they just show us Time Trapper?
Well, they see Time Trapper in the bottom right hand corner.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I think it is Time Trapper.
Yeah, definitely, because there he is. And then at the end, we get our little walkout. This is nice. Him like putting a cap on the book and everything. And we get him walking into a comic shop called Asteroid Comics, where he sees some Crisis on the shelf and stuff, and walks out. And they zoom in on the building signage, Asteroid Comics, at the letters DC. History is written by the winners.
Yep, little dig at Marvel Comics. So
it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh man, that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, it was man, what a ride. I enjoyed him. Whole bunches.
So it's 10 after 10. I can save my thing till next week to open if you want, because you want to do the drawing.
The drawing takes 2 seconds. What did you get? You want to open? Is it one of the mystery boxes?
I got your mystery box.
So I've yet to put any of these up the whole time. I just put them in my drawer so I can go back to them. Yeah, these are great, man. Very well done. Very well done. No, yeah, bust that mystery box open and then we'll do the drawing. For context, for Comics Curing Cancer, I put together 10 mystery boxes and auctioned them off, and they all sold, raised over $3,000. I think closer to $4,000 that morning. What's in the box, Paul?
Where I do the mystery box.
Oh yeah.
These two. This is Batman signed by Michael Keaton. This is the Joker signed by Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, big shout out to Sledge for donating those. That was absolutely crazy. And if you look on the back, Paul, it's got the certificate of authenticity on it. I don't know if you caught it while we were live, but we pulled up the website and put in their number and everything, and on the show. So each of these boxes had a slab, a couple of complete sets, or one complete set, depending on what else was in there. Some exclusives, and some back issues, and some chase books, and they were all spread out. Monkey helped me put them together, but the boxes range from around $100 to the higher end ones, ranging to closer to $300. I've talked to Beckerman, and he actually pulled one that had like a slab in it that was 3 times signed. He got the one that was closer to $300 in value.
Nice.
Pop said those cards slept with me for tonight.
Okay, so let's take a look at the comics that I got.
Pull tabs included on those, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pull tabs matter.
So, if you don't know, this is the comic that CGC has been showing today.
Yes, it is.
This is the Big Time Collectibles Comics Curing Cancer. This is the Crow Hell
Dead Time.
Dead Time, yeah.
Yeah, so there's one of those in each box.
Right.
One of those and the Hell Crow book in each box.
Speaking of Mike Grell, I got the Longbow Hunters complete set.
Nice.
Very nice. So
appropriate. I'm sure you probably have that.
That's all right.
I'd rather you get doubles of a DC than a Marvel one, though.
I got the Forrester mini series of Sabretooth.
Oh, you got a Marvel one also.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's a die cut cover too.
It is. You're right. It absolutely is. So, Mark Texeira did that cover anyway in the back.
Yeah, phenomenal artist. Great on Ghost Rider. Those cards are possibly the only pieces cooler than the Andre the Giant card I got maybe on C3. Congrats, Paul. Yeah, and I just got that Andre card from Sledge this past weekend. That's actually just because that I didn't have on hand DVH at the time of the thing, but that's right here. That's getting ready to go.
Got Star Wars X-Wing, Rogue Squadron, number 23.
Dark Horse Era.
Dark Horse Era. Sorry, no, 23 or 4. Right, it's a 3 or 4 in the story line there. The Adventures of Superboy, number 23. Very nice. Love Superboy. Fantastic Four, number 226.
Is there anything written on the back of that?
First Somber. First Samurai Destroyer. First Samurai Destroyer. This is the I believe this is the Legion of Comics DJ Lynx. Hell's Crow. Right, King of Hell. So, and I got Wolverine number 10. Very nice.
So that one you need to look it up. That's actually I had to look it up too. I think it's like that one was I think a $30 book. That newsstand copy there. So there's a couple of these random books like that. That one, there's an Error foil card X-Men book that was like a $80 one. Had a couple of random like just unusually valuable books.
And my slab is Pet Pool Party number 1.
That's hilarious. Couldn't have gone to a better house.
Exactly.
Oh man, I was hoping you got the Detective Comics one.
No.
Yeah, clearly, I didn't cherry pick the boxes for people.
It's okay.
Yeah. Hey, but it's you see how I try to make every one of them a mix because I never have no clue who's going to buy them, what people are into. So there's Marvel, DC, Star Wars. It's a true variety. It's not just a mystery, but a mystery and a variety.
You know what? To get the Pet Pool Party number 1 to support cancer, I will do that every single time.
Every single time. Yeah.
And twice on Sunday.
And twice on Sunday. That FF was a follow-up to the Shogun Warrior story in FF. Well, good news, Paul. If you have a problem with samurai in your area, you now know how to solve it.
There you go.
All right, well, we're going to get ready to draw this Legion loot, and then we're going to make like a baby and head out. It feels later than it really is. All right, so we showed them off at the beginning of the stream, but this giant sack filled with all kinds of Suicide Squad keys, all the Trick or Read books, all 8 of the Trick or Read books. First Rick Flag Sr., First Economist and Bell Reeve, First White Dragon, First Eagly, Mike Grell signature, DCKO #1 Frank Cho foil, Peacemaker featured on the Gerard Peril, Suicide Squad #1 CGC 9.8. Go into a new home right now. And y'all know how we play this game. We're going to pull up the wheel, and Paul's going to tell me when to stop shuffling these bad boys at the stage.
And stop.
All right, good luck to everybody. And keep in mind, you can have your name on this wheel too. You hit that join button, become a channel member in the Legion tier if you're already. There's like 70 members, and a little better than half of them are on the wheel. But if you're already a member, you can also change your membership and get on the wheel for next month or for the next one, which I don't know if we're going to do. I'm going to do a 2-month jam collaboration or just wait till December to do the greatest comic story ever told Kingdom Come Christmas giveaway, because that's just the greatest idea I came up with. I've been sitting on that one just ready to talk about it for a while. So be sure to hit that membership button. It helps the channel out tremendously. That's what funds the actual giveaway. And I appreciate everybody. Hey, there we go. Good luck. What's up, Stephen with a C? You're on there. And you know what's funny, Stephen with a C? When I type your name on the wheel, when I actually put your name on the wheel, I type out the entire thing. Stephen with a C. That right here. Yeah, look. I don't know how good you can see it, but I don't. I literally write Stephen with a C. But good luck, everybody. Let's see who this is going to. Got the American Cancer Society ad running appropriately. Ronnie Johnson. Awesome, dude. Congrats. Congrats to Ronnie. Make sure you shoot me your address on the old Instagram. If I don't talk to you between now and Tuesday, I'm sure I'll see you Tuesday during the new DC Day stream. Make sure y'all check out the video tomorrow. I'm gonna beat the absolute Batman horse till die some more, I guess. Very relevant topic right now. So absolute Batman video coming out. Hopefully it encourages some people to expand their comic reading. The whole point of the video tomorrow is there's a lot of new readers that picked up absolute Batman. So hopefully it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop with that one comic book. It doesn't stop with that one title. Hopefully they dive into more, and hopefully they pick up some books, see that video, go pick up some more books, and come here and hangs out with us and talks about some DCKO and stuff with us over here and follows along. But that's going to do it for tonight. Next week, we'll be talking about Welcome to Derry episode 2. And then because episode 3 will air we'll kind of counter program each other, as all great shows do. And I don't know what else will be the big thing. We'll see. The DCKO Nightfall will definitely be a conversation.
We'll have the numbers from Predator Badlands.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see that too. I don't know, dude. I want to see it. I just with life right now, I don't know if I'll find time to see it or not. I might, depending on what the wife's schedule looks like, I might see if I can get mom just to come hang out at the house while the kids are getting ready for bed and just go to a late Thursday show or something. Mm-hmm. That might be the only move I got. We'll see. Or maybe go while they're in school Friday. I don't know. I'll try to figure it out. Definitely want zero desire to see it. Yeah, it's not Tron. You know what I'm saying?
Or Avatar.
Or Avatar. I'm still trying to stay in Tron mode for a little while here, but man, these Avatar clips. Did you see that footage?
No.
Oh my God. They showed this footage from I think that they played it before some movie, I guess, at some special screening, but it's just like a 2-minute clip of when Quaritch meets Varang. Varang is the leader of the Fire Tribe. Quaritch, the big bad guy, Stephen Lang's character, he's talking to her and at her tribe. And so they're all confident, thinking this outsider just walked in here. And she says something. He's like, I don't think so. And he just points to one of her tribe people. He says, that one. And the dude's head just pops and he falls down dead. And you just heard the echo from the sniper. And they're like, what the heck? I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
I'm like, that's crazy, dude. Like, I'm so excited for it. I am so excited for it. I'm just wondering how many times I can see it in one weekend. I did 3 in one weekend for part 2. We'll see. If I can pull 3 off again, I'll be happy. But yeah, good stuff. I appreciate you guys in the chat hanging out. Paul, thank you as always. That's going to do it for tonight. Hope everyone has a fantastic week. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.